Hi everyone, welcome to this lecture in engineering drawing, which has been titled Blending of Lines and Curves. So in this lecture we shall discuss two cases, case 1 and case 2. Case 1 is a case where you've got a bigger circle with radius r and two circles, obviously smaller than the bigger circle, one of radius r1 and the other one of radius r2. So when you have these two circles, obviously you're going to have these circles, this one and this one. The other one, you'll just be given the radius, so you need to find a point where you place it so that you draw it. So how do you find this point? So in finding that point, what you do is you consider the circles involved. So you look at this smaller circle and that bigger circle, you subtract the two radius. So you say r1, this r minus r1. When you find that value, you stand at this point there, then you open your compass and strike an arc. Okay, you do the same the other side. The circle here involved is this one and that one. So you find the difference in the two radius, which is r minus r2. Then you stand at that point and strike an arc like that. So this point where the two arcs are meeting, that's where you stand and you draw that bigger circle. So that is the first case. In the second case, you have a circle like this one, which has a radius of course r, and another circle of radius r1, the other one of radius r2. Okay, so this scenario, it's a circle touching these two circles, but these circles are outside that circle. So these circles will be given, but where do you place your compass such that it touches these two circles at only at one point? So what you do is similar to that one, but this time around you do the addition. So you look at this one, which is r1, and the bigger circle, you add the radius. The value you get, you stand at that point and then you strike an arc like that one. Okay, for this other circle you do the same. You add the radius of the bigger circle and the radius of that circle involved. You get that value and then you stand at the center of that circle. Then you strike an arc like that. So this will be the point where you stand, open your compass, R, then you again give that circle. Let's make some sense from what we're doing. Let's look at an example. Okay, so here we've got an exercise. We're saying produce the given objects using blending of lines and curves techniques. Okay, so you've got that as well as that one. This is how questions will be coming even in your exams. Okay, so let's start with the first one. This is our first. So on our solutions, we'll start with the first one, which is the one on the left. So with this one, you, after doing your border lines on the paper, of course, you start with these lines because you're supposed to center your work. Okay, so you just demarcate your paper like these lines should be very faint. Okay, you have this line, that line, and then we know that this line is 72 meters away from the center, or 72 millimeters away. So from here to here, this is 72 millimeters. Again, from there to there, 72, which is this one. Okay, then we can start drawing. So here we see a number of circles actually. We are seeing a circle of diameter 88. That means it has a radius of 44. So from here to here, it's 44. That's the circle we have, which is that one. And then we have the other one, which has a radius of 58. That is the one we have from here to here. That's the radius 58. Those circles are visible. And we've got that circle, this circle, and this circle. So the circle outside there, it is this circle which has radius of 21. So you stand at this point, open your compass to a radius of 21. You have that circle. And then you've got these small circles. There are two of them. Here they are saying 2 of diameter 25. So each has a radius of 12.5, but since there are two, one is here and the other one is there, these are the ones. So you open your radius 12.5, you have that circle as well as that circle, and there are some circles which we can see. There are circles there outside this one, which is 33. So our previous discussion now will apply here. We need to do some calculations for us to produce those circles, those which are outside. So if you look at this one here, it's just an arc here, but it was just a circle, if anything. So this one, from our previous example, previous discussion, this is the one which was case 1. Actually, it was case 2, where you have a circle like that, and you've got circles attaching from outside. So this one has got two circles. It's got a circle of radius 21 and a circle of radius 58 attaching from outside. So for you to find the striking distance there, what you do is you do your addition. You add the radius of that circle, which was a bigger circle from our discussion, 33, plus the circle involved here is 21. When you have that, you stand at this point, open your compass to that sum, which will be 54. So you stand there, open your compass 54, then you strike that arc. Okay, the other circle involved is this guy. So you stand at that point, the radius of that is 58. So you do 33 plus 58, 33 being the radius of that circle. Stand at that point, open your compass like that. Then you stand at this point where the two arcs are meeting, open your compass 33, because they are saying the radius of this circle is 33. So we found the striking distance. Then you have that circle like that. Okay, you do the same. Even here, there's supposed to be an arc there, a circle. So you do the same. It's the circles involved, you add the radius. So it will be 21 plus R1, you strike that arc. And the other one, 33 plus 58, you strike that arc. Stand at that point, then you produce that circle. So you do the same even for the other sides. Okay, you add those, you have that, you produce the circle, add those, produce those arcs, and then you produce that circle. So all these lines are supposed to be very faint. Okay, now you start highlighting what you want to see, which is this part. Okay, so now you start making them bold, or start highlighting them. So this circle is very visible. You highlight it, that one, that one. Okay, you highlight this circle, just that arc, just that part of the circle is the one which is visible here, from there to there. You highlight that one, you highlight that, you go on highlighting the areas which you want, and would have produced that thing there. Okay, we can try another example. Okay, so we are going to look at another example, example number 2. Okay, so we are producing this part. As usual, you center your paper. So you start with the center lines, which is this one and that one, and then you do these lines, which should be 50 millimeters apart, or 25 millimeters from the center. And then we produce those circles. The bigger circle is a circle of radius 9, it's been given there. Smaller circle is a circle of diameter 12, meaning it has a radius of 6. You do that one on the other side, even the same on the other side. Upon having these, now we need to produce these arcs. Okay, and there are some arcs there, which is this and that one. So here our calculations now come in. So for us to produce that arc, this is getting our case 2 scenario, where you've got this circle and those circles touching outside. So to find the point at which you place your compass, which is that point there, you just, for the second case, you add the radius of the circles involved. So the circle involved for this one is this 40, and the other one here, which is 9. So you do that addition, then you stand at the center of the circle and you produce that arc. You do the same on the other side. You add, stand there, you do that arc. Then at this point where the circles are meeting, you stand at that point. Okay, you do the same even there. Then you stand at this point where the arcs are meeting, and then you have that circle produced. For this other one, for this arc, this is a scenario which is getting our case number 1. So you have this circle outside and you've got those circles inside. So for case 1 it was a subtraction. So the circle involved there is this 38 and the 9 radius. So you do your subtraction, which is 38 minus 9. You stand at this point, you open your compass according to that difference, then you strike an arc there. Even here is the same thing. You do that, stand at that point, you strike that arc, and then you stand at the point where the arcs are meeting, which is this point. You open your radius 38. So stand there, open your radius 38, and you produce that circle. This time around now you start highlighting parts which you need, which are visible according to this. So the parts visible are, this one is visible, that one is, okay, this circle is only visible, that area, that one there, okay. Then these are just lines which you can just draw according to the measurements given. So this one is 3 millimeters, which we've just done. Then we've got this one which is 12 millimeters. Then you do another 3 millimeters like that, and then this circle is only visible from that point to that point. So you produce that, and you do the same on the other side, you produce that. So with that done, we would have produced that part. So you can try and attempt the given assignment on the next page. Okay, so this is our assignment 1, which is just saying using blending of lines technique or techniques, produce the given figures. So try to produce this figure. This is just an electric bulb. All the dimensions have been given, and we've got a spanner there. So if you follow the presentation I gave, you're supposed to produce these things without any problem. Thank you so much.